put a suit on today. Just felt like getting a suit on today. So we're gonna shoot the episode number 10. Actually, just stand up. We're gonna shoot episode number 10 for the podcast. So I figured I'll go YouTube live. That way it's like content on top of content. If anyone wants to watch it, you can watch the live recording of the podcast before it even happens. And that's kind of cool. This is what it's like having a studio, moving stuff around all the time. I've got this microphone with a adjustable arm, but the windscreen, so the windscreen doesn't adjust the same way on the arm, and every time you move the arm, the windscreen gets all messed up. So now we got to turn on the Reaper. One thing about social media people gotta understand is at some point you just don't care anymore. I'll go live. It doesn't. I'm not gonna. It does. Even if I said something I didn't want to say, it doesn't matter. That's what content is. Content is things happening on screen so people can be entertained, educated. It's a way of life now. So we're in Reaper. Reaper is an audio program I use to record. Hey, what's up? We got a viewer at minute 2. Reaper is an audio program that I use to record through the Mac. And if you've ever used a Mac versus using an IBM machine or a laptop, normal laptop, the Mac experience for doing creative stuff like art is just way, way smoother. Just the way it operates. The MacBook keyboard alone has a certain click that the other keyboards don't have. They try to emulate it. So we have episode 10. We're going to call it Awareness. Talk about the senses today. Save as. New track. Live. Okay. Switch the microphone over. So I have 2 mics running. There's a mic on YouTube, and then there's a mic on this right here. So here we go. We are live. Episode 10. Definite Purpose Podcast. I'm actually going to get the charger. Charger for the computer fell. Excuse me. Okay, so here we go. We're live now. Let's start that over. Let's press stop. Episode 10, Definite Purpose Podcast, Awareness. So we're here live on YouTube today, and we've got the Awareness Podcast being recorded in the Excellent Life Media Studio in Laverne, California. How I got to this topic came from a video posted earlier today on Instagram talking about the senses. Our senses work in an order. Generally, if you have all your 5 senses, your sight is going to be able to work furthest away. And as we educate ourselves and learn how our senses work, we're going to be able to see and be aware of what's happening and when it's happening in our perception. So the last thing you would do if you were to go to a restaurant is to taste the food. But the first thing you would do is you would see the advertising, the menu, the people, you may see the food, but you're not going to get to taste it first. And so in this perception of the world, how our senses come into our body, some things have to be perceived before we can really experience them. You have to imagine the taste of the burger if you saw the commercial on the video. You have to imagine the taste of the drink if you saw someone drinking a cold drink on a video. But people have figured out how to transmute this energy across the video screen into the viewers' minds. Living here in Los Angeles, see a lot of video stuff going on. Hollywood's here, Netflix, they make some big movies. And a lot of it is just, it's an image, it's a projection. So today, putting the suit on, I'm out and about in public, people are going to see me differently than if I had on a pair of construction boots and some Carhartts. And there's nothing wrong with either of those outfits, but it's just so amazing how the perception of the mind allows the filters to create our reality around us and imprint those daily activities into basically your whole life, how you remember it. All your perceptions of all your memories get stored. And so as we learn how to gather this information in, sight, smell, touch, taste, hearing, as we gather all these informations in continuously throughout the day, you learn most of the communication we're using among humans is nonverbal. Some of the things you see people do, they could say a whole story just by the way their face moved. So if you were to become aware of how you are interacting with the people around you during the day, how you are throughout your own life, your goals of yourself, of how you're going to view yourself, how others are going to view you, how you're going to sound, how you're going to look. I don't know how you're going to taste. That's the last one. Most people don't know how each other's taste. That would be a kiss, an intimate way to greet somebody. But some people, in their culture, they greet with a kiss. Very intimate way. In this culture here, after COVID-19, some people will only do a fist bump or maybe even just a wave. And that's it. But I like to give a hug. A hug allows heart to heart. You can give someone a hug and heal their body, and you can heal your own body through physical touch. So the awareness of these things throughout the day. How do you greet somebody? Do you shake their hand? Well, if they're nervous, I wouldn't shake their hand. Maybe I would just say hello. But if someone wanted a hug, give them a hug. You want to reciprocate like with like. Treat people how they want to be treated. Treat them in the highest manner possible. I would give everybody a hug if I could. Hugs are known to be healing. Just like kind words. If you're going to speak and you have a choice, the awareness to have the choice of using kind words towards somebody, a healing word, a loving word. You make these choices throughout the day. When your awareness raises of the words you're using, the attitudes you're in, the way you look, the way you carry yourself, the way your thoughts are, when your awareness raises in all these areas, you become a better person, a better version of yourself. But it takes some work. You have to, 1, have a goal of who you would want to be. 2, be willing to look at yourself in the mirror. Be willing to look and say, these are the things about me that I would like to change. These are the things about me that I think are great. But also not only looking in the mirror, having other people look at you and say, these are the things about you that I like. These are the things I would like you to change. That can be kind of difficult. But either way, taking the time, energy, and the bravery to look at yourself. Find out who you are. You're not your name. Your parents gave you that name. You become something throughout your whole life, and you continually change and morph and become something else. So who are you as an individual? What do you love? How would you spend your time if you could? Where would you live if you could? What would you dress like if you could? If money was no object, how would you spend your day? These are some things that you can ask yourself. What really brings joy to your heart? Because the more things that you do that bring joy, the more joy you'll have. The more joy you'll have, the more joy you'll have. It's a real simple process. But it starts with one, identifying what makes you happy, identifying what makes you feel good, and identifying how to duplicate it. And when you can duplicate it and do it again and again and again, that's winning. Winning comes from taking a process and repeating that process, knowing a percentage or knowing a ratio. If you do something enough times, a ratio will appear. So if you need to improve and you did something enough times, you're going to know the number of how many times it succeeded and how many times it failed. So if you just keep going, you can improve the ratio just by persistence and continuation of learning. Learning happens through failure, but the failure leads to the biggest success. Because through the learning process, you're going to be able to experience firsthand the ins and outs of that situation. Nobody can teach you something that you've went through yourself. To experience this life firsthand is your role. To look through your eyes, to live your life and see, wow, this is how my life is turning out. Because of these situations and these circumstances I've built. Or these ones over here I tried to avoid. Well, it looks like I directly did a good job avoiding those, but then again I received some circumstances over here I did not enjoy. And learning how to take that time of those blocks of your life and really dissecting, going back, looking at the times of the most joyful events that you've had. Think about those times. Think about the times that you were the most joyful in your life. Whatever you were doing, whoever you were with, whatever it looked like, the sounds, the sights, the feelings. Think back in your mind to that moment now. And as you're envisioning these feelings of just tremendous happiness and joy, imagine recreating those moments in your current situation now. The happiness and joy is already around you. And as you're noticing new ways to create these new moments of joy and happiness, and as you're starting to notice these things happening already in your life daily, you're learning. You're learning the process of repeating things that make you joyful. And in the process of repeating things that make you joyful, you will have more joy. Working from the heart, remembering these moments, and creating more. Now that you have that memory locked in your mind of when you were your most joyful, keep that in a package and label it joy. Fold it up and put it in your pocket right now. Keep that with you, if you could, for the rest of your life. And as you think back to that joyful moment, everything that you've ever wanted right now can happen again by creating those joyful moments, one after another. These are some of the exercises you can do in your mind to create more joy and happiness in your life. I use some of these techniques daily whenever faced with a new situation or challenging circumstance. You must imagine the best possible outcome. And by doing this, and by imagining the best possible outcome, I've arrived at this point today with a smile on my face. There's strangers on the internet that are going to listen to this thing, and their day's going to get better. It's beautiful. I serve with love. I can't lose. The system can't beat me because I serve with love. If you serve with love in whatever you do, and you become your highest self, increasing your awareness, increasing who you are, becoming more, finding your definite purpose, finding out why you're here, and who you're going to help, who you're going to serve. How are you going to make this human experience go around better for more people? These are the things that we learn about ourselves as we live. Using our senses to not only take in the world around us, but also to see who we are, to hear ourselves, to listen to the voice. And as we know who we are more each day because we're doing this work on ourselves, the best version of ourselves to help the most people is coming. You will soon be the version of yourself that you imagine if you keep up with the work. The positive mind, the physical activity, the lifestyle, the thing that you want to become, the definite purpose. Keep raising your awareness. Bless up to the Most High. I hope this helps. Thank you for listening to episode 10, Definite Purpose Podcast. My name is Travis Mills. See you next time. Boom! That one was good. One take. That was good. One and done. No edit. Thanks for watching. Love y'all.